You have an answer for me?
I am sorting. So I have -3 and 2/3.
Okay. Did you subtract 2x from both sides? That's the smaller to the larger. 2x is smaller than 4x.
Oh, I thought I was supposed to add them.
They're not on the same side of the equation. So you combine like terms when they're on the same side. So now you're going to add 7 to both sides.
Okay.
So that's 22 equals 2x. Go ahead and finish it from there, please.
Well, 11.
X is 11. Now there's the other thing you might be asked to do is to put that angle measure back in. So could you put it into one equation or the other? And
Wait, I only put it into one of them or both?
they'll give you the same result because they're congruent.
Okay. Um, I guess the left one.
Okay, so go ahead and put that back in and let me know what you come up with.
That'll just be 17, right?
You're putting it in for X. Sorry, 11, not 1.
Oh, oops. Sorry, I saw one. That would be 28.
Try again.
Wait, oh, it's 27.
Try again. Are you multiplying 2 times 11?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, 37.
yes. Okay, good job. All right, so the next type of problem you might see is where the angles form what's called a linear pair. There's two types of problems. They're either congruent or they add up to something. This is a linear pair. What do they add up to?
180.
Adds 280. So this is the one where when you write the equation, you have the x's on the same side. So this is the time when you add them together because they're on the same side of the equation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So I want you to add the like terms 2x and 3x together, add the 18 and the -18 together, and then you can attempt to solve this equation. Um, it's a two-step equation.
Okay. Okay. Um, X equals 38.
Okay, so you have 5x minus 10 equals 180. And then you add 10 to both sides. 5x equals 190. So x equals 38. Good. This time, because they're not congruent, you have to put it into both equations. Put this x value into both.
Okay.
What did you come up with?
Okay. Actually, wait, no, it's off. I just realized I'm trying
They're
to
they're
figure out
not
why.
they're not going to be the same. They're only the same when they're congruent. Did we say that these are congruent?
No, I'm just like, it doesn't add up to
Okay.
180, so I'm trying to figure out what I did
Okay.
wrong.
Well, x is definitely 38 the way that you've done it here. So it's 2 times 38, that's 76 plus 18 is 94. Is that what you got for that one?
Oh no, I got 84. That explains it.
Okay. Let's go ahead and calculate the other one.
Oh, that's just 86.
Yes. All right. The other possibilities are that they could add up to 90, or they could add up to 180, or I'm sorry, add up to 90 because they're complementary, or 180 because they're supplementary. But let's move to some of those parallel line problems here. So let's look at this drawing here. And what's more important than writing the equation is knowing why it is the equation. So if it's not clear here, 'cause I know it's a little bit of a grainy drawing, it's referring to this angle and this angle.
Okay. So do you want me to solve that?
Well, I want you to tell me why they're congruent or why they add up to 180. Like what kind of angles are these? What's the name of the red
Oh,
angles?
alternate alternate interior angles on the same side of the
Yeah,
transversal.
yes. So are these congruent or do they add up to something?
They're congruent.
They are congruent. Now, I believe this is a minus here. It's very hard to see. So it's 5x minus 28 equals 3x plus 12. Are the variables on the same side?
Mm-mm.
They are not. So move them so that they are. Like move the smaller to the larger and then solve for x, please.
Okay. X equals 20.
So you got 2x equals 40, x equals 20. Very good. Now, when you put this back in to either equation, you expect to get the same numbers or different numbers
The same.
because they're congruent. Yes. So it doesn't matter which one you put them back into. All right. So could you attempt to do that for us, please? Could you
Okay.
put that into one or the other, and then let me know what you come up
Um,
with.
the bottom left one would be 72.
Okay. And do you expect to get the same thing for the other one? Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Any questions that before we proceed to some new problems?
Mm-mm.
All right. So a lot of solving. That's kind of going to be our focus today. New drawing for you. What kind of angles are these in red here?
Um, alternate exterior angles.
All right. So are they congruent or do they add up to something?
They're congruent.
All right. So go ahead and set those equations equal to each other and solve for x, please.
Um, X equals 18.
Okay. So you expect when you put this back in for these to be the same angle measures?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you do. Okay, so go ahead and substitute back in and tell me what the angle measure is, please.
If the bottom right one, that would be 74.
Okay, I agree. And so the top one is
74.
should be 74. So you have the choice of like going and checking it to make sure it's correct, or you just believe in your algebra. All right. Moving on here, I'm trying to cover one of each. Um, this is referring to this angle up here and this angle down here. Okay. Do you remember the names of those angles?
Um, did you say they're like consecutive something?
They are on the same side, but they're in the exterior.
Oh,
They don't really have a name. Um,
Right.
So
Okay.
these add to 180.
Mhm.
All right, so 15 plus x plus 6x plus 60 equals 180. Go ahead and solve that for x, please.
X equals 15.
Okay. So now this time, because they are not congruent, you have to put it back into both equations, and the result should add up to 180.
Okay. So over the top one, that's just 30. And then the
What about the
bottom
bottom
one,
one?
that'll just be 150.
And do those add to 180?
Yeah.
They do. All right, let's look at a couple more here. All right, what type of angles are these?
The corresponding,
They are corresponding. Are they congruent or do they add up to something?
the congruent.
Yes, these are corresponding. They are congruent. Could you could you add could you set these equations equal to each other and solve for the indicated variable?
35.
Okay, so x is 35, and then this time we expect them to be congruent. So put it back into the equation and see what you come up with for the angle measure. See if they are the same.
For the top one, I know it's 130.
Okay, how about in the bottom?
Well, the bottom would be 132.
Yes. Right, very good. So let's look at one of the last possibilities here. This is 3x minus 17 degrees, and this is 3x plus 35 degrees. Okay. Do you remember what kind of angle measures these are considered?
Those are interior angles on the same side of the transversal.
Yeah, now you made a reference to the word consecutive earlier. These are consecutive, same side interior are consecutive. Are they congruent or do they add up to something?
They add up to something.
Yeah. What do they add up to?
180 degrees.
Yes. So You got 3x minus 17 plus 3x plus 35 equals 180. Go ahead and solve for x.
$27.
So 6x plus 18 equals 180. And then did you get 6x equals 162?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's 27. So this time you do have to put it back into both equations. Right now, I'm just looking for some other problems that I think you might see on your. Stop it here. Okay. Um, did you put 27 back in and did it end up working out?
Um, I'm still doing the bottom one. I have 64 for the top and 106 for the bottom, but that doesn't add up to 180.
Yeah, that's probably just a sign error there. I mean, 3 times 27 is 81, minus 17 is 64 degrees. So it must just be a sign error. This one is 116. So, all right, here is another style of problem you might see in your class there. Um, it says to find the values of X and Y. Uh, One of the things here is that you've got a bunch of options. You've got you've got corresponding angles, you've got vertical angles, you've got alternate exterior angles. Got to be careful because you don't want to set up an equation that you can't solve. So, um, kind of tell me what you see here. What direction would you go in trying to solve for X or Y?
Um, I would probably do 182 degrees minus 4x and 5x plus 2 degrees.
So you would set these equal to each other.
Yeah.
Okay, vertical angles are congruent. That's your best path because you can solve for X. So let's do that. 182 minus 4X equals 5X plus 2. Go ahead and solve that for
Okay, x equals 20.
X equals 20. Very good. Now, how can we use that to find Y? Okay, and the answer is you have to either use Y as corresponding angles or Y as alternate exterior angles. Either one is fine. Which way do you kind of see it in this problem?
Um, I'm not sure.
But both are correct. That is the point. Like you can pick one.
Yeah.
So let's do corresponding. 4Y plus 2 equals 182 minus 4X. So at first glance, you might say, well, I don't know how to solve this because I don't have X, but you do. You just calculated it. You just calculated that X is 20. So you put that value back in here for X. So you have 4Y plus 2 equals 182 minus 4 times 20. See if that's enough to help you solve for Y here. you have any questions? Anything I can do to help here?
So I have 4y plus 2 equals 2.
No, no, it's 102. This is 80.
Oh, oops.
Okay, that might be the reason there.
Yeah.
We don't like the word oops. But
So 25.
yeah, yep. Y ends up being 25. Very good. Okay, let me give you another problem to solve here. Um, where did it go? Okay. Okay. All right. I want you to solve for X, please. Find the value of it.
So I have 2x minus 160, but then I don't know what to do.
What is it equal to? What
Uh,
happens when you move the X over? Like what's left over? Zero, zero. When you take X away, you get zero. So now
okay.
do you have enough to try and solve this?
Uh,
Move move the 160 over. 2x equals 160. What does X equal?
80.
X equals 80. All right, good job. We are going to stop there for today. You can tell kind of